All right, and we are back. And ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute honor to sit down with Dr. Tatum today. What is going on?
Hello, hello. I'm very raw and just exposed lately, so everything's just gonna be like, well, the way it comes out, the way it is, it's gonna be the way it comes out. So, but here we are.
Here we are. It was an honor to meet. I had a little issue with Facebook, but I just connected back to Facebook, so we are a go there now. So listen, it I reached out to you. Actually, I had a lot of people saying I needed to get you on the podcast. So I was like, let's get her on the podcast. And I reached out to you, and then we did a video chat together, and we had a great talk and a great time during it, right? And
Absolutely.
here we are. I'm super excited about this one. I always am when my friends come on. So we got a lot to talk about, Dr. Tatum. So
I
let's
know.
let's, let's take it from the very beginning. Where did it all start for you on them beautiful two wheels?
Well, I think it's been in my blood. Honestly, I felt born into it. My dad was a motorcycle mechanic. My mom, she was raised around older brothers who had dirt bikes and stuff like that. And they pretty much, when I was a baby, they had motorcycles in the house. My dad would tinker on things. Like, my mom would help him at his shop and pretty much helped run it with him and make it a business. And I've just been around him forever. And it's been, like I said, something in my blood that I think I just meant to do. It's not something everybody has a natural ability to do, but I think that to some degree I always have had that innate ability to be on the two wheels. I didn't really get into the, bigger bikes or anything like that until I was like probably like 21 or something like that. I started, with just like a little dirt bike. I got a 125 TTR big wheel, and it was probably my favorite dirt bike ever. It was a blast, a great size to start on. One that I wish I had still. And then I got a YZ 125, so I had a 4-stroke and 2-stroke. And if you know the 2-stroke sound, there's just nothing that beats the 2-stroke sometimes.
And the smell, right? And
Oh yeah.
absolutely, yeah, the smell. The TTR. I currently have a CRF 100. That's my little play bike that I ride with my Sunrise's little 110. So love it.
That's great. I do miss the dirt a lot. I think it was where you could like learn the two-wheel mentality a little bit and how to like fall down, get back up, and keep riding because it didn't hurt as much. I mean, it hurt. There was a few times I went into a tree or two and felt it, but I didn't do any like crazy jumps or any like motocross or anything like that. But I've been around that quite a bit. It's amazing what kids can do and dirt bikes and flying through these like crazy jumps, and that was never anything I wanted to do. I wanted to have both the wheels on the ground, but a little jump here and there by accident. Whoops, okay, I did it. Landed it.
By accident. I didn't see that there. We won't count that.
Never anything intentional, but yeah, that's kind of where my two-wheel life like started. And around that same time I was getting into dirt bikes, my mom was actually getting into street riding, and she got her motorcycle license later in life, even though she's been around motorcycles for a very long time. And then she convinced me to go ahead and get my license shortly thereafter. I think it was like 2011. She put me and my sister through the motorcycle course and paid for us to get the little M on our
Go, mama. Let's go. I love it. Let's go, mama.
She's always been like my number one like cheerleader, but also like the typical mom where she cries if she knows that something happened to me, even though I'm fine. But she's always been supportive of me being on two wheels, and she's like Miss Social Butterfly, and more than I am. She can talk to anybody about motorcycles. She's probably better suited than I am to talk about it, but she's a cross-country travel nurse, and she brings her motorcycle everywhere she goes. Meets people everywhere she goes. This community, it's something that's very welcoming. So I do miss riding on the street sometimes, but I think the track has changed a lot. of my life. Not to mention just my injury lately, but I mean, I went from dirt bikes to she had a little 48 Sportster that I would ride, and then she had an Indian Scout that I rode. So I very much was allowed and gifted to be in this world before I was even like ready to be in this world, motorcycle wise. And, like, those were great fun bikes. You know, I've come from the cruiser kind of style, and shortly after that, I went away to vet school, and I lived in the Caribbean for 4 years, and it was probably the best experience I could have ever had. Like, I cry about that island, Grenada, by the way. If you ever get a chance to go on vacation, you want to go to the Caribbean, go to Grenada. It's a small little island, 26 miles long. It's got crazy road rules or lack thereof, but it's like left side of the road, potholes, crazy twisty turnies. Like, you think mountain roads are crazy where you are, like, this place had it beat. Like, you had almost vertical like streets going up that you had to climb. I'd be in first gear sometimes. I had a 125 YBR, which is the street version of the TTR there, and that was the only way I got around ever. And I had a dog, and I popped a box on the back, and I put him in the back. He was my number one soul dog, and miss him every day. But that island was a big. It kind of got me into the approach on more defensive riding and just knowing ahead of time like what's going to happen. Like, you had to be well aware. You've got to have your head on a swivel in general when you're on the road, but in Grenada you're on the left side of the road, totally different rules. You don't know what's coming around that other corner. There was one time I was on my way to school, and it was around this left side turn, and here comes a car right in front of me. Like, they were passing somebody blindly around this curve, and I had to hit my brakes, and I went over the handlebars, fishtailed a little bit, went over the handlebars, and all I came out with was road rash. And I'm very lucky that it was only road rash. But, you know, that was probably my first like big street crash, like on pavement and whatnot. And of course, I had to be in a different country. I don't have any scars or anything, luckily. Like, I got pretty messed up from it, but it all went away and healed. And but yeah, that island really contributed a lot to my my motorcycle knowledge, my ability to be comfortable on two wheels, like that. For like 4 years in totally different country, riding on a motorcycle with that's all you got.
I
It,
love it.
it was awesome. Um, if you ever do get a chance, though, go to Grenada. It's not as popular as Jamaica or the Bahamas or anything like that. It's not huge, but that's why it's amazing. Is it's a small knit community, like super welcoming. The culture there is just easy and relaxed. I still have people I talk to very regularly about the island, about coming back. I've put off and off and off going back to visit. It's been almost 6 years now that I've not been on the island, and I mean, it's part of me. You know, I lived there for 4 years, and it's 100% a part of me. And I brand my track bikes with their Grenadian flag. I, brand my suit with their flag. Just because they're a part of me, And when I came back, one of the first things I did was buy a motorcycle. I was like, I need to have one. I had a little car, but I ended up getting this. I think it was a little Suzuki Cruiser. I want to say it was an S40. It was a cute little thing. Perfect. I think a husband and wife had owned it, and they had like their garage all made out like a showroom, so they took really good care of it. Moved myself to Tennessee and found all sorts of avenues to get into motorcycles, and I started just going off on my own, riding the mountains around here. And if you're from East Tennessee or know the area, the Dragon, all of those, big mountain roads, like I've done them. My dog actually went to the Dragon with me, and he like this every time we went around the turns, one way then the other. And he was just easy about it. Never once scared, never once tried to jump out. Like, he was just the perfect little road buddy. But I took him everywhere I could. I rode everywhere I could. I would be out by myself, just adventuring, finding like low key roads to ride on. And, I thought I was a great rider then. And I was wrong. Looking back at, how I rode and how the tracks changed how I ride has definitely turned some lights on. And anybody who's never done a track day, I think should, even if you're only riding cruisers. Um, it changed how I rode when I got off the track, for sure. Um, but yeah, I started just riding around the mountains, stopping, meeting people. I ended up meeting people and staying friends with them for a long time. One of my tattoo artists, he's one of my good motorcycle friends, and we still talk to this day about riding. And he's like, if you ever sell that Dyna, which I now have because I'm a Dyna bro. But yeah, he's like, if you ever sell it, just let me know. But I became pretty close recently to almost selling it. I really did. But I got into the track only because of my mom, actually.
Again, let's go, mom.
She knew I was going through some things. I had just recently graduated vet school. I needed a different outlet. I needed to get away. And she has so many people that she's met along the road in her travels that she would reach out. People are more than happy to tell people about this motorcycle opportunity, that motorcycle, this gig, that gig, whatever it is. And she happened to know it was either a rider or the owner of Ruts to Race Lines, which, if you don't know, is ran by a woman named Marika, who was awesome at getting me into it. I had no idea what I was doing, but my mom was like, here, reach out to Marika and she'll get you hooked up. And so I was like, what is this track stuff? I've never been on a sport bike in my life. I've been on cruisers, dirt bikes, and I didn't even know what it would feel like to be in that, crotch rocket position, like bent over and everything and tucked. And I had no idea what I was getting into, but I was like ready to travel a 10-hour drive to go to the track. NC Bike was the first track I ever went to, which is in northeastern North Carolina. But yeah, so Reds to Race Lines was my entry organization, and they were, life-changing. I'm telling you, life-changing. The first time I ever went, I met some of the best coaches. They really saw a passion, a spark, and that's something that, as a coach myself, I look at, in our customers, and I see every time I coach. And it's something that you get as a reward for being a coach. You get to see those sparks, those moments of light bulbs, those moments of this is what I want to do. I got there. I had obviously a helmet. I had no suit, no gauntlet gloves, no high above the ankle boots. So I reached out to their Facebook page a couple weeks ahead of time, and some women were more than happy to give me their old pair of boots, their old pair of gloves. And then I rented a bike and a suit from, I don't know if you're familiar with Ryan Snooks, but Ryan and his wife, they own Ready to Ride, which is, they were working very closely with Ruts to Race Line. I think they still do, but they did a lot of rentals at the time. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they rented me the bike. Ryan took great care of me. He gassed my bike up every time I came off. It was I had a little pit crew. It was kind of, he's so used to that, being in, Moto America and sponsoring kids in Moto America and everything. So, he's very used to having that kind of pit mentality of helping them get to the next session, things like that. So I just got really, really lucky in who I got to meet and who really got me into it. And his wife, Amy Jo, we still reach out to each other every once in a while. And they got 3 babies now. And I just am forever grateful that I met them, because I had the best time, the best time ever. I did the 2-day event instead of just 1 day. I drove all the way out there, and ended up having some of the best coaches, like I said. John Huff, he was probably one of the biggest influences to my ability to get better. Um, he saw me out there, and I have pictures of probably every newcomer to the track where they're just like straight up and down and upright and going through a turn, and I'm not even, it's just me and the bike leaning together, and no body position. And I think there was one time we came back to our little classroom, and he had his bike outside on stands, and he was like, "Get on the bike, move your ass." And like, he literally was like, "You have to move your ass," like literally. And so he got me from like straight up and down that morning to the afternoon being almost to the same body position I'm at right now. I mean, nowhere close, but from pictures, it seems that way. So he was a big, like, he really took it, grabbed it, showed me the way, and let me spread my wings and go. Had a few other coaches over there. Omar was a big one who really helped me, and then later on he helped my boyfriend out quite a bit when I got him into it. And then this guy named Robbie, I take a lot of what Robbie did with his body as he was coaching on track. He would do the whole like like animated about it and on track, so I would know exactly what he was doing, and I took that and I use it now. One of my good friends now, he's a customer of our organization, Precision Track Day, and Michael Fink. I was leading him around one day, and I did that, and I was like, sometimes I'll like, my butt's over there, things like that, and he was like, "What were you trying to tell me? Kiss my ass?" I'm like, I know you're faster. Like, he's a jokester. Him and his wife have been absolutely wonderful. Julie, like, they've been super duper like friendly customers and always happy to be there, even when we get red flags all the time. Just nature of the beast sometimes. But back to rest race lines, like, I went from not having a sport bike, never being on a sport bike, having coaches that really took the time and pulled me aside, helped me, didn't, hold my hand through it, but guided me through it. And it was amazing. I went back to the hotel room at the end of that weekend and bawled my little eyes out because I was so happy. I was like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, it's so cool. Like, to know that you can just be like, one morning you're at this level of riding, and then the next day you're like way surpassing that, what you thought was capable of, what you thought you were capable of doing. And I really have a lot to thank in those coaches. Like, they really took the time out and smacked a little advanced sticker on me day 2, and I was like, okay, here I go. Which with Ruts to Race Lines, they run a little bit differently. I don't know if they've changed it at all, but since when I rode with them, they do like a novice and an advanced class for just the women, and then they have like a couples or significant other class, so that your boyfriend can come or husband can come or whatever. But they're very women focused because it can be really intimidating when you're a female in this community. I mean, we're growing as part of the community 100%, and not just out there on the streets, but also in the track organizations. Being surrounded by women with the same passion was a great opportunity for me to feel lifted up and supported in a totally different way. And I even mention when I'm coaching other people, and if they bring their wife or girlfriend along, like I mentioned my friend Michael Fink and his wife Julie, like, I've mentioned Ruts to Race Lines before because, if you're not ready for this yet, like, maybe getting into, because they do dirt and street, so like they would maybe be a little bit easier to get your foot in the door with and feel a little bit more open and welcome. But we do our very best to welcome every person in our organization. Like, our women's portion of who comes as a customer has grown tremendously since I started coaching with precision. And not because of me, but I think just it's starting to become more of a known outlet for people that like two wheels. And the track is 100% the place to be. Like, and I always recommend, if you can, to do 2 days in a row. Having one day under your belt and that's it, you get to the end of the day and you're like, all right, I'm warmed up. And you know, it sucks when you have to be like, oh, that's it. So the next day you get to kind of like see the track a whole new way. You're like, all right, I learned that turn. I can brake here and accelerate here and all that good stuff. So it's well worth it to do 2 days in a row, 100%. But they were Rust Race Lands was my starting point. I ended up bringing Corey, my boyfriend, to one of their events a few times later. I actually met him on two wheels. We lived in the same it's not apartment complex, but like townhome complex area, and we he would see me ride my bikes because 2 weeks later, after the Ruts to Raceline event, I went out and bought my Ninja. And I said, yep, it's coming to be in the next track day. And she was my old trusty until this past couple weeks ago. But she was a great little bike, my little Ninja 300. Everybody thought it was a 400, and I would pass people in turns and corners and, you know, outbrake them everywhere. And people are like, what the heck? And people don't understand, like, a small bike is a lot of fun. Like, don't mess with a small bike. They're like a toy. They're super fun. They're super nimble. You learn all your skill set on a small bike better than if you were to just throw yourself into a leader bike. Unless you're just like a really large statured individual, and then the 300 doesn't make sense. But yeah, I met Corey because I would ride my bikes past his apartment, and he got the courage to finally get me to go out with him, and that just pretty much laid the groundwork for us to start doing track days together. And so he had a sport bike, an R1 at the time, and I was like, we got to go to the track. You're just gonna have to come. We're gonna go. So we took a road trip, went back to NC Bike with Ruts to Race Lines because I was still getting into all of the different organizations and knowing who went where and what different tracks there were. I rode with N2. I rode with Track Day Winner. I've ridden with Performance Riding Experience. I've ridden with Evolve. But when we first started, it was really me and Corey and Rust to Race Lines, a little N2, and then we kind of started expanding from there. We really grew this passion together. We got the bit by the bug, so to speak, and we've never been able to let it go. I mean, that's what we've done together since we got together, and that's been the last 4 or 5 years now. And he really supported me in like getting into the track experience, and then he took off on his own and started excelling with his own skill, and now we're both coaches with Precision, and it's really wonderful, like full circle kind of deal where we got to learn from really great riders, really great coaches, and then we can give back to the community and be coaches ourselves for other individuals that are really starting to get into it. And you know, that's something as we've kind of grown together, it's been the typical growth of, this is what my friend Matt would say. He said this to me recently. He was getting upset at his dad because he had another fall on his bike. His elbow blew up like to the size of a freaking grapefruit, and he'd had a wreck recently, so he was worried about like concussion and things like that. So him and his dad went to the doctor, and while they were there, his dad was like, well, I guess it's time to find a new hobby. And Matt Edmondson was like, it's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Don't make me slap you, Dad. And so, like, you know, it's true. It's something like once you get into and you get bit by that bug, you can't stop. It's like continued growth, not just your skill level and your riding abilities and what bikes you've ridden, but it's, everything that goes with it. You have to have more seat time, you have to have more tools, you have to have the storage. Corey and I started with the typical truck and a U-Haul trailer, and we stayed in a hotel nearby, and you can't do that every single weekend because you start to lose even more money than you already will. But we graduated like slowly into the enclosed trailer and just a tent trackside. And then we got a small toy hauler, and then we got our fifth wheel, which we have now. And it's just been an ever growing experience, not just because you keep needing more things to fix your bike or have spare parts. The whole pay it forward thing is true there too. If somebody else breaks down or their clutch lever breaks or something breaks on their bike, so many people are more than happy to give the spare part, not even charge somebody money for it because, oh, it's just laying in this box I've had in my toy hauler. So there's been times where people have needed something and Corey's had the part, or we know somebody that might have the part. So we definitely we overpack. We probably don't overpack like some people, but we definitely overpack for sure. Not enough clothes, but too many tools or too many parts, and not enough weather specific clothing. Now I'm the one that overpacks there. I'm like cold, hot, I gotta have the winter to the summer wardrobe all in a drawer just in case I get cold. Because I do get cold easy, and Corey, he can just run around all day like it's nothing, and he's just a heater. But yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy turn of events from never being to a track day, but being around motorcycles, loving motorcycles, having that totally different experience, to being invited to coach for Precision. Like that was one of the biggest compliments I could have ever gotten. Never thought I would be able to coach people on a bike. Never liked to speak in public. I'm the most antisocial person you'll ever meet. Even right now, I'm very nervous for whoever's watching and listening to whatever it is I have to say, because I'm not the best at talking to people sometimes, and especially right now. But yeah, Precision kind of took over and invited Corey and I to both be coaches. So not only do we get to ride together all the time, we get to coach together too. And we usually aren't coaching in the same group, but we love it. He's a great teacher. I like to teach. As a veterinarian, I teach people every day. I have to teach clients. I have to, teach my staff how to do things the right way, what this means, what that means, different blood work results and different x-ray results and whatnot. But never did I think I would be a motorcycle track day coach on top of being a doctor. I kind of wish I could go back and just do motorcycles my whole life, but not be in the debt that I'm in right now. But I do also it's also a lifestyle to be a doctor. You have to be the right person to fill those shoes. But I'd have people always asking me as clients, how was your track day this weekend? Because they knew I was going out of town or whatnot. And I've crashed a few times, probably enough for both Corey and I, but I've gotten extremely lucky with the outcomes. I've low-sided my Ninja 300 probably 4 or 5 times, and that thing, low-side's the best you can ask for, is the simplest crash, the least amount of damage, hopefully, to you and the motorcycle and to anybody else around you potentially. But I've definitely low-sided that thing. I thought I was invincible, and it was raining and kept going the same speed. Can't do that apparently. So low-sided there. I had a Gixxer 750 that I was racing amongst some very fast individuals at Little Tally, and we were running it clockwise. So anybody that knows that track, they often run it counterclockwise. Majority of the reason, I think, is there's like a back chicane and like a tight right if you run it the other way. The rumble strips there are very rough. So we were doing a race and we were going clockwise, and I was probably 2 laps away from finishing in like 4th or 5th place with the top like Moto America racers, our fastest guys that we have on our team, and like little me. And I was just hauling and chasing that carrot, and like right on our almost 2 laps left, boom, went through the chicane, did way too many things all at once. I was braking, shifting my body, turning, everything, and I hit that rumble strip and I just got launched, and I high-sided the first time ever, which I got extremely lucky on that one as well, because all I came out with was a bruised toe, big bruise with the 1X logo imprinted in my thigh. I mean, my breath was like, I was like, breath taken from me. I was like, I knew I was in the line of fire. I was in right where everybody was coming, and I knew there were 20 more people coming. So I was like army crawling to get myself off the track. And as soon as I got to the grass, like I got myself up and like hobbled as far away as I could. And meanwhile, my bike's like in the pavement, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm getting out of here. One of our photographers for with High Side Photo, Raul, if you've ever met him, I'm sorry, he's not going to be doing this forever. I'm pretty sure he said he was retiring this year. He might have said that last year and kept going, but he is one of the best track photographers out there. And he was at that event that day, and he had just packed up from that location and like ran over to me and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Did you get it in a photo?" And he was like, "No, but that was a gnarly high side." I had people like coming up to me saying like that's the highest somebody's flown up in the air that they've seen from a high side. Like it was like, I don't even, all I remember is my face hitting the ground first, and then that was it. But I remember that one. uh Low side a couple more times. The most recent low side on my Ninja, I had to get it totaled. The foot peg bent the frame, so I said, my trusty dusty little Ninja, it's gotta go. So I just had her totaled in and don't know what I'll end up with next. Most recently, I had a Gixxer 600, which my good buddy Jeff now has. And I'm proud to have one of our other coaches have that bike now. And it's even precision colors. It's black, red, and white. So it just lucked out that way. But I was at Atlanta Motorsports in August, and I think it was turn 13. It's a blind left downhill, like it's an uphill downhill. I was coaching, and somebody hadn't wiped out right in front of me, just slid out. And I don't remember this crash at all. I just have what people have told me has happened, some video footage of people riding by right afterwards at, seeing me just like a pancake on the ground there. I don't think it was quite like a high side. I think I just got launched, and then my bike just went tail directly over front, landed on me, and then ended up in front of me on the track. And I was just there with my neck all splayed, like shoulder, neck. I think I lost a glove from the video footage I saw. Like, I don't know how I'm not broken. Like, my bones aren't broken, but I came out with probably one of the worst injuries I could have asked for, which was a brachial plexus nerve injury. And so, like, your whole spinal cord, like, comes out into a grouping of nerves. It comes under your collarbone, and it feeds your entire arm. And it makes all of your muscles work, all of your joints work, your fingers work, even some of your, like, back and shoulder muscles, it innervates. So I've actually lost a ton of muscle mass in my whole arm and a bit of my like back muscles here. It's 3.5 months now that it's been, just about 3.5 months. I was in a helicopter to get to the hospital. I don't remember any of that. I don't remember the ER, but apparently I was asking questions over and over and over again, which is your typical concussed syndrome. I had the doctors telling Corey, who was probably ghostly white at the time, but I don't remember. He can't keep showing me this or that or telling me this or that because I asked 20 times already. And I was in that hospital in Georgia for 4 days in their trauma care, and they, took the best care of me they could and sent me on my way, recommended I go see a neurologist and follow up with physical therapy. And I had no idea, like, really the state I was in. No idea. My whole arm, couldn't move it. I think I could, like, only move, like, my pinky and ring finger, maybe. But it was, like, I don't think I realized how serious it was, like, in the very beginning. It wasn't until like I came out of this like drug fog and laying in my bed for a month and a half to realize,
what's up, guys?
this
This is my son right here. He always busts in there. What's up, Rossi?
What's up?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna play my Xbox.
You gonna play Xbox? You just come in to say hi?
Yeah.
All right. I missed you today.
Missed you.
All right, my man. What game you playing?
Huh?
What game you gonna play?
I don't know.
He's got headphones on. How does he not hear you?
He hears me. He's just he always makes an interest usually during the podcast. So
And he's got to make it more special, and he's got to come in like a crazy outfit or something every time, like surprise.
don't give him any.
You'll never
ideas.
know.
Trust me. Do not give him any ideas because he'll.
One day he's Spider-Man, next day he's the Hulk.
It's a good idea.
I think that would be funny if he actually did like a little guest appearance every time and it was like something crazy. Do something crazy. Do something crazy. That was an old college song.
Yep. Do something. I like it. I like it.
But yeah, so I think I was a month and a half in. I had been in bed that entire time. I owe my mom and Corey so much for taking care of me. Like, I know I was not doing anything for myself, but I don't know what was happening either. My mom flew down from South Dakota. Corey, jumped right into, helping me as much as he could and working, back and forth. And I still heavily rely on him for like doing range of motion with my arm and helping me throughout the day. I can't even open things by myself. Doors, refrigerator doors, regular doors, especially if I'm carrying anything in my hand, my one hand. Because this hand is like barely wants to open. It's like kind of stuck in this position when I have it open. And then I can make like a fist, but it's not really a fist. So like very lightweight things will be in my hand, but I'll still like struggle. Like my shoulder is very weak. My whole arm has less than half its muscle mass as it did originally. It's like going through a mourning somebody or something. Like I was a mess. I still am a mess, honestly. Like I'm definitely more stable in my mind, but I was getting to points where like my head was like the worst thing for me. I didn't want to keep going on with all of this. I didn't want to keep going to physical therapy, even though that's like the best thing that for me right now. Like I go 3 times a week religiously. I think I've missed 1, maybe 2 appointments since the accident, and it's a lot of work. It's painful sometimes, but in a good way. Like she can do things. My physical therapist, Amanda, is absolutely wonderful. Like she goes through like and works through my whole arm, like from my neck to my mid back, all the way down my arm, gets everything moving, gets everything loosened up for me. Like I'm very guarded at home. I've got cats that don't respect your personal space, and so we've had to like lock them out of the bedroom so they don't just jump all over me, which is kind of sad because my cat Turtle is like the best cuddler. Like he just like plops on you. And like he's just like when you need to cuddle something, he will cuddle with anybody, anything, like he will cuddle you. But he's also like 16 pounds of dead weight. And so like when he comes, plops his big body on you, it's like that hurts way too much. So I'm finally to a place like during the day, like they don't bother me so much. They can come in and out whenever they want. I think they've also kind of been like trained to not be in the room so much at night at this point because it's not having them in the room is kind of sad. You know, we've talked about it. You know, animals, we're not good enough for animals. Like they heal us. You know, they fix our boo boos even though they don't really. They want to. I truly do think they want to. Like they can sense when something's not right. And I came home wearing a big old sling, arm out like this, and at the time I couldn't feel anything. So they would just lay on my sling and lay on me, and it was fine until I started to feel things again, which happened surprisingly quick for this type of injury. You know, my neurologist basically told me it's going to be a 18 to 24 month recovery. And, you know, for a doctor, not just a motorcycle rider, like that's a huge blow to everything. You know, my income, I don't have any. I have zero income right now. So another thing I'm relying on Corey right now for is just to help keep us afloat and keep me afloat. But like, yeah, it's definitely like a mourning. Like, I've gone through every single emotion in like an hour. Like I've been up and down. I felt bipolar. I've felt like raging lunatic. Like there were times where, and I'm pretty sure it was medication induced, but I would just rage. And when I tell you I would rage, it didn't matter what was in my path. Like it did. I didn't kick or abuse my animals or Corey, but like any inanimate object around me, I broke 2 doors in this house. I kicked down a metal door, my metal front door, because I was just so angry. And like, I'm not an angry person. Like, I'm not like that emotionally. I'm a crier. I cry over everything. But I don't like rage and I don't freak out like that. And I think it was a mixture of medications and I don't know what I'm doing with myself, you know, kind of deal. And I don't think many people know about like severe nerve injuries other than like being permanently paralyzed. Like there's a girl, Cora, she races in Wira and Azra, and she's paralyzed from her mid torso down, I believe. And oh yeah, I can't do the heart thing, so I'll do that. But she's out there. Like 3 years ago, she ran into a pole at 180 and broke her spine and her spinal cord, and they surgically repaired it as soon as they could. But once you sever a nerve and that big of a nerve, it's unlikely to get a lot of it back. But she says even to this day she's having changes in her legs and everything like that. So, you know, there's still hope for her to get even more mobility and sensation. And bodies are crazy, man. Like it's absurd what we can endure, what we can go through and come out on top, even if you feel like you're never going to be on top again. Like I definitely feel at my lowest point, you know, in life. You know, no money, no motorcycle, no vet job, no, you know, it's very sad. And it's everybody said like talk to people every day, you know, it'll help you. And in the beginning I was like against it. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to like be shut in and in the dark and almost like feel the depression in a way, but that's not what I want to be either. You know, I don't want to be sad and depressed all the time. That's not me. I'm happy. I'm a laugher. I'm a hugger, you know, all of that. But, you know, with this injury, it's thrown me for a loop. But like I said, you know, 2 months in, I was starting to move my arm already after it being dead, completely dead. I couldn't feel from my shoulder to my fingertips, couldn't feel anything. Then I started having, significant, crazy joint pain like throughout my arm. And that was also a secondary medication cause. They put me on like a whole pharmacy of things. And I've been purposefully taking myself off of medications because it's messed with me like so much. Like my rage fits. I mean, there's a couple times like I'll kind of feel like that road rage of my eyes want to pinpoint in and I just want to like go rage on somebody or whatever. Like we were at Walmart the other day and I was in the drivable little buggy because I can't walk for very long periods of time. I get so fatigued and my arm hurts, my shoulder hurts. So I use the little buggy and to get around, and I have my arm in a sling when I'm out in public because nobody knows I'm injured unless there's something visible. So sling is how I avoid contact with people. But man, like people these days are just so like in their own zone and they don't care about other people that like I'll be out in public and I'll be following Corey behind with the little buggy cart and drivable cart, and people will just like blast right past us, with their cart cut in between us and like be in the smack dab middle of the aisle with their thing like halfway cocked to the side and just be like, even if I was walking like a normal person, that's so rude. Like we just have to be aware of people, and a lot of me just didn't want to go back to my regular life of being a helper, a teacher and all of that. But like I've also come over that hurdle a little bit. I know my brain will probably like rethink that one a little bit, but at the end of the day, like I'm a motorcycle rider, I'm a doctor, I teach for a living. I teach because it's my passion. I teach because it's a lifestyle. I ride because it's a lifestyle. And I've struggled a lot with this injury. A lot of people I've known at the track have broken their back, broken their pelvis, come back 6 months later and they're riding like crazier than ever, and, I have a lot of respect for those individuals because they've really pushed past a very painful time of their life only to come right back to the two wheels that put them there. And nerve injuries especially are so tough. Like I would have preferred to break my collarbone or break my humerus or break a bone or a few bones because they heal faster than nerves. I'll be, bionic and back on a bike, but now I have to like pretty much wait it out. And it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever been through. I knew I was going to cry.
It's all good. It is all good, Dr. Tatum. It's me and you both got a lot to cry about here lately. Trust me. I've been doing a lot of it here myself. I feel you. You're a beautiful soul, and your journey's been absolutely amazing. And you will get back beyond 100% where you were before originally. You'll be back out there coaching and fixing animals and all that good stuff. So, yeah, it's okay to let it out and be emotional. Again, we both, been there. So it's
and I've had like an overwhelming and truly overwhelming, but in a good way, like support behind me. Like I've struggled to accept all of the support because of how much negative stuff I've been through in the past couple months. That's felt like 2 years. But I've had so many people reach out to me. I mean, just like Khalil and Yatri, like they were great and recommending, you to speak with me, and they've been a huge support, just checking in on me all the time. They made my dog into a t-shirt because her little scruffy self is named Ethel, and she's got a little growing fan club at the track. So they made me like shirts to just sell to people because they wanted to give back. And like I said before, like this community is such a pay it forward, giving back to the community type of mentality. Like there's so many people I don't think I would have been here necessarily if I didn't have so many people like standing behind me and like pushing me. And I have a lot of customers that I've helped with their improvements, and Victor and Caden, like they were some of my most recent and closest customers that I've maintained friendships with. And Victor specifically has shared a lot of his ways of coping with certain like traumatic brain injury type things. And Joey Hathaway, who's one of our coaches, he also has had some major injuries from riding, and he himself told me that he hated motorcycles, hated them for years before he got back on the track. And now he's freaking flying, and he's like so crazy fast. But he and I were talking for a while too, like in the beginning when I was like starting to come back to the world. And we kind of like help pick each other up by like sending little inspirational sayings or quotes. And some things, you know, I've kind of made up, some things he's made up, some things he's been told, some things I've been told. And, you know, it's hard to stay so positive all the time when you have like the weight of the world on you. And that's really what I feel, is just like all the weight, you know. You know, the Herbs, Vanessa, Nate, Riker, like they've been like crazy awesome friends that were customers first. And I've seen Riker go from our Delta brand new novice class to Alpha group, which, you know, he's getting into racing and everything like that. And all this past year, like I've been with him through that whole journey, and I've watched him like surpass me and then some. And you know, he's a young kid and he's got lots of things going for him. His parents, Nate and Vanessa, they've just been such like a sounding board for me. Just so many people I could list. I could go on about the amount of people that have reached out to me. My Jeff and Keith, Jeff was one of my, I think he's 70, and he's going to correct me later because he'll probably listen, but he's 70 something, I want to say. And he's out there riding and loving it. Like, he's also an adrenaline junkie because he does, you know, the wakeboarding, wake surfing and stuff, you know, and when he's not on the bike, he's doing other crazy sports. And you're not too young to go to the track, like, at all. Like, I've had people, like, one of our coaches, Dooley, like, he's just a maniac. Like, he will just blow past you like you're standing still, and you're like, I thought I was going fast. But, you know, there's everybody that's on our team with Precision, you know, Fahad and Kevin, our owners, like they were amazing and just immediately started a GoFundMe for my injury. And that was a huge buffer, you know, for me to get through the initial little bit without having to like worry about like my main bills. You know, any money is always a problem. I wish things didn't cost what they cost, but they do. Just living. I don't know how people survive out there on like just disability alone. Like, if I were to get disability, it wouldn't even pay for my mortgage. Like, it's crazy. And there's still a high probability I'll get denied. Like, it takes them 5 months to even go through that process of if you're allowed your disability or not. And like, I haven't been able to work. I can't do anything with an animal like right now. I think I progressed really fast initially, and had like my hopes like up here, and then I had like a couple setbacks that brought me back a bit, and like I was like, maybe I'll get through this like really fast and nobody will. But it's like my arm is still shrinking, it's still atrophying, the pain is like up and down. But I've pretty much like weaned myself off of all of the medications except for, you know, muscle relaxers, which are hugely important right now. Like, yes, I have a nerve injury, but I can feel a lot of my arm now. And now it's like the muscle is so small. Any little movement that you make, like just like doing this with your hand, your whole forearm is on fire later. And, nerve injuries are no joke at all. They're really, really difficult. They're so time consuming. And I've always been like a go, 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 go person. And I plan ahead and I, take the bull by the horns, so to speak, and I just push forward, and I've always been going. I don't know if I said it to you in the beginning, but like I always put other people first, even before me. Like I've always been that way. And I think it got to a point where life kind of forced me to stop because I gave so much of myself that I didn't have anything left for myself. And so it kind of put me into this forced reset position. And that's kind of how I need to look at it, I think, so that I can kind of reprioritize. Not that I want to stop giving to people and, making others feel important and making sure like I fix their animals and whatever else, but just prioritizing myself first, because if I'm not my best me, I can't be my best for you as a customer or as a client or an animal owner or just a random person, cashier, whatever, that we have an interaction for a brief moment in time, but I'd rather it be positive than negative. And like I really want to just kind of cut out the like shit talking and being so negative about people, even though I kind of started with that. Like I really was like, I can't believe people are so rude out there, but like it's true. Yes. But also, what are you going to do about it? You can't make them change. You can't say something and all of a sudden they're going to be nice to you or less rude or whatever the case. Like, you just got to shrug it off and move on and live your life and not really think about what those people are doing. That was a dumb merge. You should have accelerated instead of, whatever, road rage and stuff like that. But I really do want to try to stay like positive. It's very difficult to do right now. Yeah.
Listen, you're can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Your journey's been absolutely amazing. Everybody's is unique in its own way. I think
Here's
that's
Ethel.
Oh, look at Ethel. What's going on, buddy? I love it.
This is what the fan. I love it.
He's a cutie. Thank you for that. Yeah,
Repping his precision track day shirt and everything. Unintentional.
I love it.
That's just his everyday clothing now.
That's awesome. That's something I need to get my dog Fiona. We got a puppy I got for Rossi last year for Christmas. She was 12 weeks old when we got her, so she's over a year now, obviously. But yeah, I want to start getting her like little doggy sweaters and stuff too. So
is she a small or like is she a?
She's small. They told me the papers from Angels of Cece that she was a pit something mix, right? And I'm looking at her, I'm like, there's absolutely no way. She's a lab something, a corgi maybe in a lab, because she's probably maybe 30 pounds. She's short, kind of long, but she's absolutely amazing. She
I have a soft spot for short and long dogs because that's what Meatball was. He was a 50-pound short and long bratwurst.
Yeah. I'll see if she'll come in here after this. I open up the door, see if she'll make an interest. Sometimes she's in here. She's sitting here when Charlie was around. Charlie used to sit in here with me all the time. Well, she is now. But
still with you, still sitting in there with you.
Still
just
still
in a different way.
Yeah. So yeah, but your support system is amazing. And one thing that, I say to people, especially about a motorcycle community, it's unlike anything else in the world. It's so unique. And the people that you meet that you otherwise wouldn't have met unless you are involved in two wheels. It's you sit back at days and times, whatever mood you are in or whatever you're going through, and you just puts a smile on your face and you're like, shit, look at all these amazing people and friends I have, right? It's that laugh right there, right? It's that brief moment in time when you think about that. Otherwise you wouldn't have, and being in love and having such a passion for two wheels. I truly believe that there's two people in this world, and I think I told you this, where motorcycles choose us, and there's ones that choose motorcycles. Well, the ones that when the motorcycles choose us, like us, and everybody listening and everything, it's a lifestyle. So we think about it, we breathe it, we live it, we eat it, we watch it, everything else in between, right? And
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or something on the phone. You're scrolling through a Moto
bro,
GP video or something.
facts, right? And you're like, how many credit cards we maxed out? Well, I think I can get another $2,500 out of this other one, but we can get tires and blah blah blah. Yeah, trust me, I've been there. It is a beautiful sickness, if you want to call it that. Some people call it a sickness. I don't. I call it what a beautiful life and what a beautiful journey, that we are so fortunate to have such a passion. And you do too, is obviously I do as animals, but you're a doctor, so you fix them and you work on them and all that stuff, which is very unique in its own way. My other friend, Lucy Blondell, she was BTR the past 2 years. She that's what she does too. She lives in Canada. So I think I applaud you for that, because it's definitely a unique job. It's something that I don't know if I'd be able to do, not because of the blood and stuff. I don't know. I like to talk to people. I don't want to fix you.
You get to talk to people.
I'm sure you do, right? Yeah, I'm sure you do.
And I have plenty of clients that would follow me anywhere I go, and I also have met plenty of previous clients that I won't see, or they don't want to see me. I'm just not their cup of tea, and that's fine. That's also the beauty of being a doctor or being a client for a doctor, is you don't have to go to that doctor. You can choose somebody else. You can choose to go somewhere else, or I can choose not to see you because you just treated my staff like crap. So that's not welcome here, type thing. But the veterinary community, we're not paid like nurses and human doctors. The animal nurse is paid like less than what you would make at Burger King probably. And I, tried to make a difference in that. I managed a hospital for 2.5 years, and I did improve, the conditions there, and it affected my life in a negative way eventually, because it wasn't mine. And I had somebody over me that thought they knew best. And so I just couldn't be part of that anymore. And then I started doing relief work and going to different hospitals, so you don't have to deal with the politics. You can just be your doctor self. And I've had people follow me to different locations just because they want that same person. I had people that I met, their cat had FIV, which is feline HIV. And their doctor told them there was nothing they could do. It was 2 years old. It had horrible dental condition because of the virus, and it wouldn't eat. So it kept losing weight, kept getting sick. And I was like, you could just take all the teeth out, which is very true that you can do. And that doctor said that he wouldn't do that. So I asked him, if they came to me somewhere else, can I do it? They had no problem with me doing it. That cat is still alive today. They sent me updates like months later of her like fat again, like living her happy gummy self. And like, that's the reward I get for being a doctor, right? Is seeing the success of a treatment that you've chosen, or surgery that you've done, or lives you've saved just because of those things. It's very hard for me to like not be doing that right now. But I also think I'd truly, life told me I needed a break. I never took a break in between schools. Like some kids take a year off or whatever it is. Maybe they don't know what they're going to do, or, between high school and college, or between their undergrad and graduate school or whatever. But I've just been like going and like going and going for years now. And like I needed to reach that goal of being a doctor. Like that was my only drive. Like I wanted to be a doctor. I knew I was going to be a doctor. I never made the grades for it. Like in my undergrad, like I always had a job, so I couldn't just focus on studying, but the passion, the drive, like the hands-on was all there. And like the knowledge is there too. It's just learned a different way. And I don't necessarily test well, and like especially if it's not something meaningful like biochemistry. I'm not using biochemistry in my day-to-day life, but I had to take that thing 4 times to pass it. I got into vet school because I applied to your not so typical stateside schools. You got to try outside of the US something that's still accredited. You don't have to jump through hoops to come back to the States to be a doctor. You can just be a doctor because they have the same expectations and the same level of education and testing standards and everything. So yeah, I went to the Caribbean. I don't regret it. I think I would have regretted being in the States and taking the 4 years of school here and not expanding my horizon and being in a totally different lifestyle, like
culture, everything.
Yeah, everything was so different, and it grounds you better. It makes you realize like what's really out there, and you don't have to think so close-mindedly in what's just in your adjacent vicinity. And some people don't like to travel, and that's okay. But I need to experience things in life in order to be wise and grow. And traveling is huge in your ability to take things in, process them, and not overreact or not underreact, or realize that it's not just something set in stone. Like life can exist elsewhere in a different way and in an easier way. I very much missed the island life. It was so relaxing. The water like cured everything. Like I wish I could be in the salt water right now so badly. Like just fix my arm, please. But yeah, it's been a journey, and I love what I do, both on 2 wheels and in the office, so to speak. I literally had planned to start my own business the weekend after my big accident, and I had to cancel all of those plans for now. I don't know if I'll ever get there again. I might just always work for somebody or do relief forever, or I've been very like stressed out about not having an income, and so I've been looking at different opportunities, and teaching crossed my mind, but that's a whole different kind of stamina I don't have, like, and won't have for quite some time. Like I can barely make it a couple hours just standing or walking, and even sitting. Like sometimes I have to be just straight laid down. Like I have to lay down and I won't be able to do that like when I go into the clinic or something, or the hospital. I can't. It's always fast paced. People are so, need now, and fix my animal now. And I've been waiting 20 minutes. Oh God, but human doctors, you wait and you wait and you wait. And there is no bitching about it. So like, I was always on the move. I was always rushing to do stuff, and slowing down has been one of the hardest things for me to do through this whole process.
I guarantee.
And the lifestyle in the Caribbean is slower, but this is a different type of slow. This is like a full stop. You're not doing your regular life right now. You're on vacation from life from vacation. Like, I wish it was in Grenada. I do. I'd probably be better already. But, one of my local friends down there, we call him Froggy because he's a island tour guide. So he has his own boat. He recently just built his own boat, which they still do there. They build them with wood and planks, and make them watertight, and from nothing to something. And he's hopping little islands down there, and he gives people tours, and he's always checking in on me too. And he's like, when you come back down here, we'll make sure you have a good time. Like, it's just I miss that island so much. I keep talking about it.
You do. Absolutely. You do. Well, you have to go back. That's all it is too.
Yeah.
You got to go back. We're real quick, when you talked about taking all the cat's teeth out, I started to laugh.
Yeah.
A picture popped up in my head of a cat with human dentures in its mouth. And I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me right now. That is amazing. I want my cat's teeth taken out just to get those in and say, hey, check my cat out, right? Oh, that's hilarious.
They actually do really well, like without any teeth. They've got all sorts of conditions that can just ruin the structure of their oral cavity and just eat away at their bones. So taking out the teeth fixes it. Like you just have little gummy, like hard palate.
She said a little gummy palate.
Yeah, little gummy cats
Oh
out
my
there.
God, I love it. I love it.
My dog is almost gummy. She's got maybe 6 teeth left in her mouth, but she's
I'll
also
tell you
old.
what, yeah, so mine was too. It got to the point where I was making her homemade baked chicken and rice and stuff anyway, but it got to the point where like she would only eat hot dogs, and I'd
Yeah.
have to cut them up in little pieces or whatever, and she would that's all she would eat. She was a hot dog lover, right? So
That's one of the
go
things,
figure.
like when their appetite goes, like something's wrong. Like when your pet, who normally would house anything down, stops eating, starts to shut down. Like I had my dog Meatball. I cry over him every day. I diagnosed him with cancer in a year and a half ago, and little over a year and a half, because I had to put him to sleep in November. So it's been a year in November, and he was my ride or die. He came from Grenada. He was a 5-week-old little street pup that didn't have a thing, and so I took him, and he was with me ever since. He taught himself everything: how to sit, how to paw, and other paw, and ride on the motorcycle. It was like I didn't have to train him. He was always potty trained. Like he was just the best, which is not typical. What they call the stray dogs down there is called pot hounds, and because they drink out of the potholes, that's what they made up. But anyway, he was not a typical pot hound. Like the pot hounds down there are like 35 to 45 pounds, tall and lanky, sleek, tight coat, and he was like this hefty 3-inch legger that like he turned into a German Shepherd markings and Basset Hound body, but these little flips. And I think some of the coaches with Precision have met him. Like John McGlone, I think, met him. But he was one of those, like, he was the best track pup. He was the best everything. Like he could read a room. He could read a person. He could know that that animal doesn't like you, that animal doesn't like you, that person doesn't like you, that person loves you. Like he would be gentle with babies. Like he wouldn't jump up on anybody. Like he was gentle with elderly people. Like he would just know how to behave the right way. And I've got like two tattoos of him now, and one was before his last bit, one was after, as more of a memorial.
Yep.
And like, oh, I wanted to mention Sage tailoring.
My dude Grover, let's go.
I believe in like what energy you put out, you get back, and my brain is so not what it used to be, but when you make something happen, like you I forget the term it's called, you're
Pay it
you're
forward.
putting the, not like that, like shoot, I don't know why I can't think of this fucking word. This is my life now though. Like I literally will be mid-sentence and I can't think of theater or something, like a word. No, like when you're like you dream it, you think it, and you make it happen, and it comes to fruition.
Yeah, positive
Like
energy.
whatever.
Speak about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I literally manifest. Thank you.
Thank
Corey,
you.
Corey from the kitchen.
Thanks, Corey.
I believe in manifestation in a atypical way. Like you can't just think it and it's going to happen. You can think about it, hope about it, wish about it, whatever it is. But the moment it presents the opportunity to you, you have to act on it to make it happen. You can't just, here is your arm back, you know? And so literally I was in the shower. It was at our November 1st and 2nd event at Atlanta Motorsports back at the crash site. And I was just like, I need to get back to the track. I need to be present, even though I can't ride. I got to see a lot of my customers and my team again, and just like be in that environment. But like that, the Friday we left, I took a shower and I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if I could find a leather worker that could rework my suit into something different, like just a jacket or like whatever you can make out of whatever's left, because it was cut off of me, right, from wrist all the way up, my legs, they're all cut. Nothing's fixing that suit. And it's got, the Grenadian flag on it, my veterinary symbol on it, Meatball's face on it, all these different like meaningful customized items that are otherwise trash. And so I was like, man, I really wonder if I can find somebody that could like just rework it. Just a random thought. We show up to AMP, and like for once we were like the first coaches there and like got to set up, and like we're always struggling to like get there on time and make it to early tech and stuff like that. But dude walks by, tall black guy, asking where to, he's a vendor, and where he should set up, and we pointed him in the right direction. Like we weren't wearing any precision gear or anything like that yet. But I think he kind of got the gist that we were part of Precision. And we found out he was Grover, which I also associate that with Grover from, Sesame Street, the little blue guy. And I loved Grover. I had a Grover doll. So like there was no way I was going to forget this guy's name. And he told us that he was with Sage Tailoring. And I was like, so like I was like, I literally have to come talk to you tomorrow. So like Saturday, after like tech and everybody gets going with their sessions, I start like walking around, and I end up at the Sage Tailoring tent. And apparently, they do all like a lot of trackside corrections to leathers, and they do things for Moto America guys and their suits and leathers, gear in general. They were like, we can fix anything that needs a stitch. They're very, very confident in what they do because they have quality product. They have the skill that's required. We put our lives inside these suits, literally, and trust that they're going to protect us. And mine did a great job, aside from, physical blow, but, that's unrelated. And so I told them about Meatball. I told them about my injury. I told them about my suit. And I asked if they would be able to make a jacket out of it. And they, his wife, Kim.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it too. I was like, what is her name?
I think it's
should know it.
Kim.
I think it is.
And I have also really wanted to learn like American Sign Language for various reasons, but Kim can't hear. So she can read lips really well. And I didn't realize until I walked by a separate time, maybe, and it was just her, and I asked if I could pet their dog, and I didn't quite understand her, so I moved around closer, asked again, and realized, oh, she is deaf, so she wasn't able to verbally communicate yes to me, but I kind of just opened that door to like understand why I couldn't understand her. And it was just like mind-blowing. I've literally wanted to learn American Sign Language, and I've wanted to have a new jacket made out of the scraps from my suit, and they said they would do it. And that they had also a connection in Knoxville, where I live, that there's an interpreter they know that could maybe get me into the avenue of learning sign language. I've had 100% deaf clients as a veterinarian bring their pets to me, and I've not been able to communicate with them other than texting back and forth like on the phone right in front of us because they can't hear, or I don't know sign language or what have you. So cats are always trying to get into things. That's the problem with cats. But yeah, Grover and Kim, like I literally cried and hugged them, like, because they took something, an idea of mine, and were 100% eager to help and eager to be part of that recreation of a memory, something that I want to turn around and make it positive. But also, like, it's a custom suit that I had all these little memories on, and now they're gonna do it for me. And I cried to them. Like I couldn't process everything that they did for me that day. Like I just went up to them later and I was like, you have no idea how much it means to me that you're willing to even take on this project. Like, you don't have to. You work on Moto America people, you work on suits that are protective, not just this, different avenue of creating something totally different out of a suit. But I thought that was amazing, like, because now I've manifested that. Like, I thought it presented itself, and then I've followed through and I've talked to them on numerous occasions, and we've been like planning it out. And I also have my dog's surgical knee implant from when he was cremated, and I asked if they could incorporate that onto the suit somewhere, and they were like, absolutely. And so I've been like, in the beginning of my stages, like, he's always been my rock. Whenever like I was sad, upset, didn't matter, he would always know like how to behave, how to talk to me, how to be with me, whether it was I needed to cuddle or I needed just you to be there in the same room or whatever. And so I would literally, like, when I would like rage and have those crazy outbursts, I knew it was irrational. And then next thing you know, I'd be just bawling my eyes out, like crying and crying and crying. And I've held on to his knee implant, like, because he is my rock. He is my little soul dog. And it means the world to me that Grover and Kim were more than eager to help me out. And again, like, it's a whole pay it forward in this community where we pay it forward to each other. We help each other out when we need it. And I think that's a big reason why I won't be able to say goodbye to the track. Like, as much as like part of me is like, I don't ever want to go back, but I do. Like, I fucking made it back. I took 2 months after my injury and went back. Should I have? Probably not, but I did it.
Yes, you should have.
Because-
Absolutely.
Like, and a lot of things people don't see is like the quiet suffering that I go through every day. Like, it's not just like, yeah, I'm getting better. I'm getting better, and then I feel worse, and then I get better, and then I feel worse. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and on a daily basis it changes. And sometimes being in that environment made me feel better, and sometimes it made me feel worse, and sometimes it was the travel distance, and that plays a huge role in my ability to like stay upright and talk to people. Like, I just physically have lost so much, and mentally I feel like I've lost a lot, but I know everything is kind of still there. I think it's just a matter of being patient, which I'm not great at. I'm not great at being patient. I'm not great at slowing down, which I got a little tattoo also a month after my injury, which I don't even really remember because I was probably too drugged up to remember, but I didn't feel it until like the next day or so. And it's a little snail on my ankle, my right ankle, and it's got a little puff of smoke behind it. And it says slow down under it. And it's just, in theory, it's supposed to tell me like to slow down in life, but also like to be patient with my abilities in this sport as well. This is, you can always get better, but you can't rush it. One thing I was told in the very, very beginning probably from my Ruts to Race Lines crew, is because I went from their novice to their advanced in a day, and I'd never been on a sport bike before. They literally told me, those that get fast quick crash hard. And I do believe if you rush the process of getting fast or quick, you're doing yourself a disservice. You have to go through the process of learning the skill and building on each skill that you learn in order to be the best rider you can be and the safest rider you can be. And I think, just slowing down and taking it for what it is and learning as much as you can from whatever experience it is. Or I think this whole experience is just a slow down, reset, reprioritize, and to be patient. All things I struggle with immensely.
Being patient's always been one of my personal weak points until even with Rossi, I've learned to grow to be patient, right? It's definitely something I got to work at, but I find myself a lot more calm and patient when he pisses me off so bad, right? Sometimes, but our life in general. But it is work. And yeah, I got to remind myself all the time. But at the end of the day, again, like you with your boyfriend, the beautiful family, and the motorcycle community, there's so many people that love you and back you and support you. You got this. And I told you that. And that text message is like, you got this. What are you talking about? Like we all been there. We all feel that, we struggle. I struggle with it too. I feel like I take 5 steps forward, make a half a step in front, and then 25 steps backwards. And I'm like, what's going on? Life beats me up too, but if it wasn't for my wife and my son and my dogs when I come home, I mean it's the best. That in this right here, talking to my friends like you and venting and crying on the podcast and all that good stuff. So it's real. It's real life. It's a real story and journey.
Sound like me.
Right. It's absolutely amazing and beautiful. Sometimes, as humans, I think everybody's naturally impatient. You see it in kids, especially too, right? And that don't go away when you get an adult. Something you got to practice on.
And then life pressures you to go faster and faster and faster.
It's crazy. Yes. And then the responsibility of the income and the mortgage and what am I cooking for dinner? And I got to order these tires and get these parts in and replace the clutch on my bike and blah, 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 blah. It's like all these things, go on. How do you juggle it all? Right. Again, it's that support system you have. And sometimes you got to remind yourself to say, sometimes it's okay for me not to be okay, but I know I'm going to be okay, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm very much there. Yeah. I'm very much not okay right now.
Right. So it's you are, but you feel like you're not because again you're impatient. You want to do all this right now, right? But you're going to get there. Everything happens for a reason, and you'll be back. You'll be stronger than ever. It's going to be a struggle. Not going to lie, right? It is, but you got it. You got this. 110%. Dr. Tatum, you got
just can't tell me what's going to happen tomorrow. Like he would be like, the minute I say something about a nerve, that nerve's going to make a liar out of me. And it's very true. The nervous system is so intricate. You can't predict it. You can try. And nobody would have predicted, 2 months in, I'd be moving my completely paralyzed arm. I'm very lucky and feeling like it will return fully. I still have some very difficult times ahead. I know, the re-strengthening process, we kind of got gung-ho. I came back from AMP and I was like, look what I can do. And I literally raised my arm up and I can't do that right now. So a month ago I was doing way better. But I got overzealous and my physical therapist also got overzealous and was like, all right, let's do all these new stretches and exercises for you. And then it backfired on me and I've been fighting to get back to that spot again. And it's just a learning experience every single day. Every day is different. Not one sensation is the same from day to day. ever evolving, I guess, but in the right direction, just very slowly.
Like this
Slow
snail,
down.
like the snail on your ankle. It's funny you mentioned tattoos. I got one of my dog that I put down cruised. I think it was like 2 years ago, year and a half ago. So I immediately got a Snoopy on a skateboard with a Harley. So now with Charlie, I'm gonna go out and go obviously get one of her too. But yeah, it's to me, man, tattoos are therapy. Like I'll sit down, throw my earbuds in. It's like I just don't flinch, don't move, just my eyes closed, and the pain feels so good. I'll say that
Yeah.
for sure. It really, it's
I mean,
it's hard to
you see
explain.
me too. I'm
I love it.
not new to the tattoos, and
love it.
unfortunately, it's put on hold for a while. I've had lots of plans for all of that, but don't have the money for it right now, nor do I have the ability to sit through anything. But it's, something that can wait and something that I don't have to do right now. I've already gotten plenty of tattoos to this point. One of my good friends, like I said, Mo, he's one of my artists, and he's also one of the motorcycle community. I've yet to get him to the track, though. He's just a Harley guy through and through.
That's all right. We got King of the Bagger Racing.
Yeah.
Come on over. What are you talking about? Yeah.
He actually, I think there's Dream Rides in East Tennessee. They're a motorcycle shop. I think they've been trying to get in with the bagger side of things into racing and things like that. They'll put on a little drag strip here and there. Like we just have a straightaway drag strip close by, and they'll put on a little drag strip day. And I took all of our sport bikes. Corey and I took all our sport bikes and the Harley and dragged them all down the drag strip, and it was a blast. And again, met a lot of people that day, and we were probably one of the old, we had three sport bikes on the track, and then there was one other guy that showed up with a sport bike. The rest were all Harleys and people that go to Dream Rides events, and but they've been a great shop to go to and work with as well when it comes down to the Harley life. The Dyna Bro life.
The HD life, baby. Let's go. Right. I don't know if I buy a Harley or Indian, man. That's a question I've been asked. I think I don't know, man. Maybe Indian. I don't know.
They're both great. I mean, 1 year apart? Indian came first and then came Harley, but my mom will also sell anybody an Indian. Like she will talk anybody into an Indian. I swear.
Again, go mama. I love your mama already. Me and her got to talk for sure.
She's one of those special characters that you don't get to meet many of in life, and it's she'll talk your ear off about Indians, and she goes to all the vintage museums and loves everything about vintage bikes, and she has her own interests and I have my own interests, and she cries every time I crash or knows that I've crashed, or she wants me to check in with her after every track event, and I'm like, I can't do that, Mom. I gotta keep going, and it's a little bit different. And she was unfortunately part of my rage fits. She and Corey both got the shittiest part of me during this recovery, and I hate that for them, and I wish I didn't have to go through all those emotions, but it also was somewhat necessary for my body to go through, my mind to go through. But they were unfortunate bystanders and receivers of my rage. But ever since I kind of took myself off the meds, I haven't really had those fits anymore. I cry a lot still, but that's always me. I cry a lot, and I'm just trying to stay positive every day, and not every day works out that way. But
it don't. It's funny when I had my son, I used to not be a crier at all. After I had my son, I found myself, I cry movies and TV shows and shit. And I try not to hurt. My wife's like, "You crying?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Bullshit." And I'm like, "I ain't crying." I can't. I feel like I gotta let it out. I just gotta let it out.
You didn't get to go through the pregnancy emotions, okay?
Look, I was the one that threw up, not her. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and be like, "I'm gonna get sick. What are you doing to me? This is not supposed to happen."
Pregnancy by proximity.
Yeah, guilt by association. It's your fault. My fault.
My one other shout out is to Raphael, our Pirelli supplier, part of our precision crew, and he helped me get my bike totaled out as well, and he didn't have to go through all that trouble and putting up an estimate and going through the back and forth. But I cried to him the other day, and he's like, him and his daughter's name is Arlie, but he told me that his wife cries to him on a regular basis, so he's well trained, not by wanting to be, but by the necessity of it. He's like, you can cry to me whenever. I'm well trained in this now. And I'm like, well, Corey is too. I cry too much. And he'll make fun of me too when I cry at the little things in movies.
Right? You're like, what are you doing? It's just a
butterfly. I'm over there like,
we're gonna live 3 days. Yeah.
You want to come up and say goodbye?
It's hilarious. I love it. He's so
just
cute.
Popped out there.
He's a cute. What was his name again?
Ethel.
I love it. Ethel. He's like, I just want some loving. Give me some treats.
Yeah, well, her number one fan club, Laura and Ryan Doherty, they literally would probably steal her from me if they could. But they're also customers of Precision, and they bought one of her shirts.
Well, you can't.
They're wearing this mug on her all over them.
Oh my God, I love it. Well, real quick, Tatum, this has been absolutely amazing. We only planned on like an hour, and we're an hour and 40 minutes into it almost, right? You had a lot to say, so I just let you talk. I think it's a beautiful thing. And you told me how nervous you were. I don't see you being nervous at all, because the whole time he was.
That's probably what it was. My nerves just made me talk, and like I feel the wavering in my voice, but whether or not everybody else can hear it.
Nah, you sound good. Absolutely. I love it. I do want to get to these comments because there was a bunch of them. So real quick, we got Chris Turner says, Team Tatum, let's go. And then of course,
that's exactly what he says too. He's always like, let's go. Like that's like his thing. Yeah, that's Jeff. He's got in her Facebook profile there. And look, Allison also is in that picture there. She's smaller in that picture than she is in real life right now, but she's older now. And her alter ego actually is Ethel. And that's why I named Ethel after her, because I was like, what is this little old lady dog's name gonna be? And talked with Jessica, and Jessica told me about Allison's alter ego as an Ethel wearing a muumuu, jumping rope in the front driveway. And I was like, Ethel it is. Like, and she like 100% knows her name is Ethel. I don't know what it was before us, because we've only had her since like March, but if not less time than that. But yeah, Ethel it was forever, and she knows her name now.
Love it. So cute. Absolutely adorable. But Jessica says, Lady Tatum, the true queen of the track.
She's great.
She is. They are. They're absolutely.
Oh, that's my mother.
That's her mother, Jennifer. What is up? Hi, baby girl. I love it.
With her Indian.
Yeah, with the Indian. I love it. Love the bike. She says, I wish I could post a pic of your joy that day. Your whole world changed. It was awesome. She actually sent it to me. I watched the video. It was truly amazing to see.
Yeah, just crying my eyes out and laughing. Amazing it was.
Proper mega, as I always say. And then we got Jeff says Tatum is a badass. Let's go.
Thanks, Jeff. He's got my Gixxer now, so it's gonna be out there still playing.
That's it.
Still living its life with Jeff.
There's Fink. Yeah, he says kiss my butt motion.
See, that's what I was telling you about. He literally. That's funny.
Hilarious. And then we got Julie Fink says Tatum is awesome. Let's go. I love it. And then we got your mom says Marika. I don't even want to.
She may have tagged her, tried to tag her or something. That's who runs Reds to Race Lines.
I got you. Because if I try to say her last name, I
wouldn't be able to either.
Craigie? I don't know.
Craigie?
Sounds good to me. Yep.
Can't remember.
Crew chief. There it is. Jessica says mostly because of you.
I'm not sure where that was fit in, but yeah, there she is.
Yeah, there she is. She says, "Thank you. I don't know how I missed it. That's okay. If you jumped in the middle, you can always go. This episode will be out on Spotify Heart about 20 minutes after I ended. Anyway, I'll tag on all the socials so she can go back and re-listen to it tonight, or go back on Facebook.
I will listen to myself talk.
No, I'm talking about her, Marika. Yeah, she said I'll go back and listen. Sometimes I do go back and listen to my podcast. It's funny because not the other day. I said not the other day. The other day, I went back and listened to like one of the first ones when I very first took it over by myself, and then listened to my newest one, and I was like,
oh, how you've grown.
yeah, I was like, I was such a dork, dude. Are you kidding me right now? I love it though. Again, it's the journey, right?
Yeah.
And this wouldn't be possible, as I say this to everybody, and I say it all the time, without Tatum and everybody listening, hitting the likes and the subscribes. I would not be sitting here doing this. So it's nothing but love to each and every single one of you. Jennifer also says she's praising your ruts to race lines. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's what it was. She tagged her.
Yep.
That's right.
And then we got Skills
there's
Moto.
Dan.
Yeah, Dan's always awesome. He says, "You rock."
I don't know how he gets as low as he does on his bikes. Like, I was like always watching his little clips and like, can I be like you someday?
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. Jeff says Corey is a shirtless stud.
He just likes to be shirtless at the track. Okay, it's hot out there.
You better watch out, Corey.
Yeah.
I'm just joking, Jeff.
Jeff's coming for him.
Yeah. William Pendleton, my man, what is up, dude? He says Tatum.
All the precision.
Yeah,
all the
absolutely.
precision.
And then we got David Marquis.
Oh, it's my dad.
Says, hi, Tatum. You're doing great. Hi, Dad. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I went down to VIR with Jessica and Jeff during the Precision Track Day. It was kind of a hectic weekend. Next time I go, I want to meet the owners of it and meet all the coaches and sit down and have a chat and all that good stuff. So looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, they're good people, Jeff and Jessica, for sure. I mean, everybody that you've pulled up so far has been like 100% a backer, a supporter of mine. And I wouldn't be sitting here either without the support of everybody that's commenting and whatnot and supporting my decision to talk and talk and talk.
I love it, man. I love it. And then we got at Ugga Dugga Racing. I like that.
I think that's Khalil.
Yep, Khalil. Yeah, that's my dude, man. I call him K-Dub.
Yeah.
Tatum, let's go. Yeah. And no, Khalil's right here.
Oh, there you go. Is it Yatri then?
Yeah,
Which one?
yeah,
Maybe. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably his brother Yatri. Yatri's awesome too.
I seriously thought they were twins for the longest time until I recently spoke with them more at length and realized how different they truly are.
It was funny because I had K-Dub on here before Yatri, and Yatri, one of his comments was like, "How the fuck did you get on here before me?" And it was hilarious.
Yatri's on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Yatri's coming up here. Let me check my calendar. I'm pretty sure Wednesday. It is. Yeah, it's here very shortly.
I got you working now. Let me check my calendar.
You got me working. Let me check my calendar live on. Let me see when I got. No, I think Yatri's in December. Yatri is December 26th, the day after Christmas. So that is our day after Christmas special. And then my man K-Dub, happy birthday, Rossi, man. I will absolutely tell him, my friend, for sure.
Is it today?
No, his birthday was on the 19th.
The 19th, yeah.
Yeah.
So recent enough.
It was. Actually,
how old is he now?
13, going on 30.
I remember 13.
So yeah, it's man, time's such a thief, grows up so quick, right? It's I used to think I had all the time in the world and all the hours in the day. Now it's nowhere near long enough at all in anything you do. So, but he's the best to me. He made me who I am today and changed the way I view the world. All because, and that's honestly, Tatum, that's the main reason why I do this podcast. Yes, it's to give back to the sport and do it different than anybody else, but at the end of the day, I do it mainly for my son Rossi. If I was to drop dead tomorrow, he's always got all these videos and iHeart and Spotify and go back and listen to me, laugh and smile and cry occasionally and all that good stuff, right? So to me, that's the most important thing. Whether he deletes it all or I don't give a shit, I'll be dead, right? So,
But it is. It's memories of you and what you did and what you had passion for.
Facts, right? So, but what I was going to say is, Khalil had the honor. He reached out to me, and I actually got some. Me and him collabed on some T-shirts that are coming out soon. You can actually go on his website and pre-order them now. So, absolutely honored to work with Hyper Naked on some limited
Are those
shirts.
the green and pink ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense now because I was talking to you the other day about the old school colors of the Cowie and everything, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense because I didn't put those together.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I got my original when I was with Bison. There's my original pink Bison shirts right there, and then my pink and blue and green Bison suit. And yeah, I like it was the old Kawasaki colors, right? The pinks, the purples,
yeah,
the blues. Let's go. I love it. But thank you, Khalil. You, my friend, is proper mega. Jennifer says the rage was totally medication. It's a real thing. It is.
she's also a
100%.
nurse, so she's a little mess. I know. She's the nurse and she's a motorcycle rider, so she's
And
got
a
the curse,
mom.
the same
Yes.
curse I have of go 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 and work 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 and knowledge and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Ugh, keep grunting, Ethel.
He's so cute. Leech says you will get through this if you still have the fight control. If you have the fight, control it, heal, learn from the lesson. If you want it bad enough, you'll get it back in game. This makes you stronger. 100%. 100. Skills says hugs. Where's my hugs at, Skills? That's messed up,
Maybe that was
Dan.
meant for you.
Yeah, maybe it was. If it was, thanks, Dan. Hugs right back at you, buddy. Julie says, you got this, girl. We love you. Absolutely. Let's see what else we got. We got Yatri. What is up? He says mutts are the best dogs, and they are. They really are. Absolutely.
No need to do genetic testing on this ugly mug.
No, they're all beautiful in their own unique way. Amanda Gale says, hi, Tatum.
I got your scrubs, Amanda, if you're still on. She sent me some extra scrubs because she didn't have use for them anymore, and she posted on socials about it, and I was like, I need some. And that's pretty much what I live in every day because they're easy ups for pants.
And they're comfortable.
I haven't lived in jeans in like the last few months. I think I put jeans on 3 times in the last 3 months. So scrubs is where it's at.
Scrubs is when my wife worked at the hospital at Carillion. She's bring me home some scrubs. I was like, I ain't wearing those. And I put them on one day. I was like, these are really comfortable for sure. Really comfortable.
Mhm.
So, Jacob Sutter, what is up, Jacob? My man, dude. He says, sup, coach.
It's been a while, Jacob. I don't
Has
even know if
been a
these
while.
people are still listening, but it has been a while.
Oh yeah. Yatri says we love you. Then we got Alicia.
Allie.
Yeah, Allie.
She's one of my vet
says,
assistants. I've helped train her and get her through her certification as well, while she was getting certified as a vet tech. So she's worked with me, for me, and everything. So she's a beautiful soul as well.
I love it. I love it. And then we got Jeff Huffman says, Keith and
That's
I
nice.
love you. And I'm 73. LOL.
What did I say? He was going to correct me, right? I was like, he's 70 something.
I love it. And then last but not least, yeah, we got Vanessa. Yeah, it says Ricard says, thanks, coach. And he loves you.
Hey,
yeah. Nate and Vanessa love you too. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
They're good people, and everybody who's listened and chimed in or didn't chime in, like, I'm super grateful for everybody like listening to me rant and rave and talk about whatever it is I've been through. And I've not really gotten to talk with a lot of people about injuries up until now, and I think there's a bit of like kind of like a not a hush hush per se, but people don't just come out and be like, hey, I broke my back, or I had the same nerve injury you do. Like, I've had that happen since my injury, but not before. And like, you don't think about the risk you're taking when you're out there. You really don't. You think you're invincible, you're covered in leather, you can handle it. Even myself, I'm, guilty of feeling invincible and feeling like I'm doing great and I won't crash and some things happen and there's no rhyme or reason and it just does. And unfortunately, bad injuries happen and sometimes fatalities. And I'm lucky to not know anybody currently that has passed because of an, accident. But you see it every day. You see it on the streets. You see it in the track, races and everything like that. And the big fire with the air fence. I think it was last year or the year before. I think it was a Wira race. I'm not for sure, but people get hurt, and that's we're out there as coaches risking even more just to help you guys as customers. We don't do it for a paycheck. We do it to help you guys get better. We help ourselves get better. The only way you can get better is to teach too. If you're teaching it, you're practicing it, you're doing it. We come out there because we get the reward of seeing everybody smile and laugh and be like, I just got that corner that's been giving me hell all day, or since last year, or whatever the case may be. Like that's what I like to get out of it. I like to see like people brand new to the track. I like to see people that have just been like stuck in one place and haven't been able to get out of it, and then next thing you know, they're past that point, they're better, they've bumped up a class, things are just clicking better. And as coaches, we're sitting there one-handed, which we're not supposed to teach, but we look back and we look at you, and we're in the lean and we're looking back, we're doing things we shouldn't be doing on bikes. And you see it every once in a while on like Moto A guys, MotoGP, like they'll have a slip up and they'll look back real quick, make sure nobody's on their tail or whatever it is they're looking back for to get back on track, I guess. But yeah, that's what we're in it for. We're in it not for the money, obviously. we're in it to meet people. We're in it to help people progress, like Riker and Nate and Vanessa. Like their family has just been submerged into this lifestyle this year. And like Vanessa was talking to me the other day and she was like, I don't know what we got ourselves into. They got another camper, a brand new camper, like all this stuff that they didn't have before. And like all because Riker is kicking ass and he's really got a lot of potential and trying to get into the racing scene. And he's got good everything going for him. And huge supporter of that family and everybody else that's been a supporter of mine. Like if I haven't mentioned you, thank you. I don't think I have a list timeline long enough to go over the list of people that I could mention by name, but just know that if you've even remotely talked to me through this whole thing, like I've appreciate every word, even if it doesn't seem that way. Sometimes it's too overwhelming for me to like respond right away or respond appropriately. I don't know. It's just processing is different right now, and trying to take it all in and make sense of it all, but not like forcefully. I'm not like, why'd this happen? Yes, I've said that, but it's not my goal through all of this, Yeah, I love being a coach. I love teaching, and Babe's looking at me like it's dinner time.
Yeah,
Ethel's
he's
looking
like-
at me like it's dinner time.
He's like, you said you was only doing this for an hour. We're 2 hours into this.
I
What are you
know.
doing?"
I literally. I mean, we're at the end if you want to do some commercials, Corey. Before I do forget, I don't know if it's something we can add in, but our owners, Kevin and Fahad, did give me a code for people to get $25 off if they go to our next Jennings event, which is this coming weekend. But if you're coming down and if you hadn't made the decision yet, Pin the Gas is the code. You can go to our website, precisiontrackday.org. We do also have some 20-day packages and season passes left over to sell. They sell out pretty quick. People get a really great deal out of those package deals. And November 29th and 30th is when you can use the Pin the Gas code, and it would give you $25 off Saturday and $25 off Sunday. And then Monday is already discounted. So it is a 3-day event, but if you were to only do Saturday, Sunday, you can use that code to get $25 off.
I love it. There you guys go. I totally forgot about that, Jess.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
It's not always about me.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. I was like, is there anything else I gotta say? And you brought it up. I was like, shit, I should have. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because Corey was like, I was just going to do some commercials. One thing I do love about Precision too is we do offer a lot of like one-on-one coaching, and that's where I've met a lot of our customers and gotten to know them a bit more personally and as more friends than customer and coach. Like, I know people by name. I know people repeat, come to the same track events. They come all the time, and you just get to know these fine folks that you otherwise never would have met without the track.
Because
people from all sorts of walks of life, people that work in dirty jobs, people work in the office, people work as doctors. I've met human doctors on the track. They do it too. It's not just the crazy animal people, but yeah, it's a place where all walks of life are welcome, and you get to just interact with some really amazing individuals and learn about them and talk about bikes and talk about riding and talk about body position and how do you get through this turn. What gear are you in here? And like, it's always a learning experience when you're on the track and you're like, oh, I gotta try that. Like, even as a coach, sometimes we're not immune to making mistakes or doing things wrong or not the best way. We're not like actual Rossi or, we're not actual Marquez or, people like that are extra super professionals. But like you said, and like we talked about, it's a lifestyle, and we've chosen to be part of it and help this sport grow. And Khalil had talked about, keeping this sport alive, and it's true. Like, without people coming to track days, it's a trickle up effect too. Like, if Pirelli wants to sponsor XYZ people with Moto America, they can't always give the best financial sponsorship because nobody's buying tires. You got to buy tires from a company before they can allow for big sponsorship. And I'm using Pirelli. I'm sure they've got loads of good sponsorships, but just for an example, it's in, like Sage Tailoring, like they're a great company, started and just with a couple of them, and they do great work, and they're wonderful people, and they've grown their business up, and they'll only get more business and be able to like do sponsorships if they even wanted to with more clientele. And it just goes all the way from the bottom to the top. Like, all us track day goers, our weekend warriors, our people that do it just to get out of the office. And, we rely on you guys to keep the sport alive and to keep people knowing about it, because you've got the NFL, you've got the NBA, all these Americanized sports, but everybody forgets that motorcycles are a sport too. Like, may not be in the news, may not be on, sports prime time, whatever it is, but you got the right outlets and you talk to the right people, you'll know about it. And it's only going to become a bigger thing if more people get involved.
110%. I call it our beautiful circus, right? Exactly what it is a beautiful circus. And, along our journey, and I said this earlier, when we fall in love with two wheels, we don't realize the beautiful journey and path it's going to take us on and the people we're going to meet. There's times we sit back, and I said this earlier, and go, fuck, look at all these beautiful, amazing people I've met that I've never met unless I was on them two wheels. So, yeah. Well, listen, Tatum, this has been an absolutely proper, mega good time. Me and you agreed to hour and 15 minutes. We're 2 hours into this podcast. I love it. See, you had a lot to say and you're comfortable, and let's go. I love it. So now you're going to be real comfortable, not nervous at all for part 2, right?
Right. Part 2 is just going to be like a walk in the park.
Exactly. All right, Tatum, I appreciate it.
Ride on the bike.
Yeah, ride on the bike. There you go. Unicycle. I dug out my unicycle. I'm gonna get back on it and start riding.
Oh, we're gonna have to see videos of that.
Yeah, crash and burn. I will. It's been a long time since I got on it, but I will make it happen and send you some videos for sure. But on that note, people, listen, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. you guys are absolutely amazing. I love each and every single one of you. And if you had not had the chance, please hit the likes and the subscribes and the ding dongs and the TikToks and all that, stuff. So yeah, all that stuff. But anyway, this has been a lot of fun. If you missed this, this thing will be uploaded. It's like 8 p.m. So to give me to about 8:30, it'll be out everywhere. I'll tag in on all socials. Tell Corey I said hello, even though he popped in earlier. Go enjoy your dinner and hit me up this weekend. I mean, you'll do a phone chat and we'll set up part 2.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. It's been interesting. I still feel nervous, even though I'm sitting here after I talked all that.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you did fine. You did an amazing job for sure. And your journey's amazing too. So, and you'll be just fine. 110%. You're going to be out there raising more hell than you were before. Trust me. The world's not ready for you yet. That's why they're putting you on snail mode right now.
Yeah, I'm on snail mode.
On snail mode. That's it. Hey, that's the name of this episode, snail mode.
Yeah. Oh, we got a couple last minute comments. Hang tight.
Hang on. Snail mode.
Thanks to Truck family and friends for support.
There it is. All right, let me see what we got.
If you want to support me next year on the road to 600 championship, DM me. We can work some stuff out. And last but not least, Chris Simcoe. Hit the gas if you just tuned in for the first time. He's got a lot of cool people on his podcast, professional racers.
Appreciate it, buddy.
And Ethel.
Love it.
Repping the precision.
I love it. All right. Well, listen, you gentlemen and ladies, go and enjoy your evening and your supper. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go hop in the shower and go out there and, run my son wild like he runs me ragged for the next hour before, I got to go to bed. So listen, Tatum, straight up, it's been an absolute honor to have you on tonight. I really
thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on it. I mean, I don't know what may the future hold for us and as we go forward, but I'm grateful for this time with you. I'm grateful to have met you. I'm grateful to so many people. I'm grateful for Khalil to very intentionally say my name on your podcast while I was watching and made me cry. Thanks a lot. So yeah, I mean, it's a two-way street. I'm thankful for you as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I can't wait for part 2. Looking forward for you. I really ain't got nothing going on this weekend. So just hit me up whenever you got a free moment. You remember, give me a call and say, hey, blah, blah, blah. We'll schedule our part 2. And listen, again, it's been an absolute honor, my friend. You are proper mega and amazing. And you got this. Remember that, Tatum. Dr.
Thanks,
Tatum.
Chris.
You got this. You're very welcome. And on that note, we are out of here, people. We will see you soon.
If there's anybody still watching.
Yeah, there's actually 11 people still in the studio right now. So
2 hours in. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.